For the people who just don't know, my name is Crimson, and this is gameplay commentary called House Rules Law. Now, before y'all get all upset, no, this is not a Trayvon Martin reaction verdict video, right? This is something that was inspired by the Trayvon Martin verdict, but it's not about that. But if you do want my opinion on the case, I'll just say that I feel like George Zimmerman should have got at least manslaughter on the at least a manslaughter charge. I feel like he initiated the whole confrontation with Trayvon Martin, who wasn't doing anything but trying to get home after going to the store. This man is a grown ass man going after a 17-year-old, right? Because he looks suspicious. And well, you all know the case. By now, you all know the case and know all the situation. I feel like he should have got at least something, and not just got away with all charges filed against him acquitted. But anyway, we're not talking about Trayvon Martin or George Zimmerman. We're talking about Ohio law that really has no official name as far as I know, but I'm calling it the House Rules Law. And House Rules Law is basically if someone breaks into your house, if someone breaks into your house, you are legally allowed to defend yourself with any means less necessary, which may result in killing him. Basically, if someone breaks into your house, you have every right to kill that fool where he stands. The thing is, he has to be inside your house. He can't be on your porch, on your doorstep, on the stairs leading up to your doorstep, on your property. He has to be inside the four walls of your house in order for this to happen. If he's not, you have to call police and have them handle the situation no matter what's going on. I'm going to explain to you the rule. I'm going to explain to you the rules or three cases that kind of support that's evolved around this law. I'm going to tell you what passes, what don't passes, and what's the exception to the rule. This is a case of what passes. Fuck. This is a case of what passes. Young woman around Christmas time was home alone with her young child, or I believe it was a newborn child, and mourning the death of her husband that died somewhere around. This was around Christmas time. Somewhere around Christmas time, her husband died. She's sitting at home when some crazed maniac attempts to break in through the front door of the house. The young lady grabs her child and a gun and a phone and huddles in the corner protecting her child. Or I think she was holding the child at the time when the guy was trying to break in, or something along those lines. Anyway, she called 911 and was talking to a dispatcher, saying that that someone is trying to break into her home, and asking dispatch if this person breaks into the house, can she shoot him? Dispatch told this young lady that if this man steps into your house or breaks through that door, you are legally allowed to defend yourself in self-defense by any means necessary. This woman asked the dispatcher over and over again while this guy was breaking into their house apartment over and over again, if this guy goes through this front door, can I shoot him? If this guy goes through my front door, can I shoot him? This guy is almost through our door. Can I protect myself? I am holding a gun. Can I shoot him? Dispatch told him told this the young mother that if this man breaks through the door, you are legally allowed to protect yourself and your child. Eventually, the guy breaks through the door, and the moment that he steps into the house, she unloads 8 rounds into the guy, killing him dead. And legally, she was allowed to do that with no charges filed against her because it was self-defense. That's house rules law. In your house, you can kill motherfucker dead, no charges filed against you. Now this is a case where the house rules law doesn't really apply. See, there was a man staying in the house, and one of his neighbors would constantly harass him over and over and over again, coming onto his property, coming onto his porch, harassing him, threatening him over and over and over again. The guy called police on him multiple times, right? Since he didn't do anything to him physically, the guy just kept on doing what he was doing. So this guy put up video cameras around his house, proving that this guy was harassing him, was threatening him, and all that stuff, trying to basically cover his ass for any legal trouble. One day, one of his neighbors came up to his house and started harassing him again. And he was walking up to the porch of the house. The man from his front door says, "If you step 1 foot onto my porch, I will shoot you dead. If you step 1 foot on my porch, that would be the last step you ever take." This man says, "Fuck you." Then he steps 1 foot on the porch, and that was the last step he ever took. He was killed dead. The homeowner, the guy who shot the man, got 7 years in prison because the neighbor was not inside the house. Police law says that you could have easily went back into the house and called police and had law enforcement handle the situation. Right? That's how house rules apply. Now here goes the exception to the rule. Not too far from where I work, there was a elderly couple staying in the house, and 3 young teenage boys, the youngest being 14 years old, broke into the house and attempted to rob the elderly people. Since the elderly couple was at home at the time, they got into a scuffle. The wife was arguing with one of the young kids, and eventually made it outside. I believe the 14-year-old held the wife hostage and said that told the old man if anything happens, his wife would die. So the man's hand is basically being forced here. He kills the 14-year-old holding his wife hostage, and the other 2 were injured by him. He did not get charged with anything. Yes, house rule law says that you had to be inside the house, but this was more of a self-defense because the 3 young guys were threatening his wife. Basically, the youngest one held the wife at gunpoint hostage, right, and was threatening the old man and trying to trying to cause him physically harm. The man's hand was forced. He killed the young child and injured the other 2. During the case, he did apologize to the family, saying that, "I'm sorry that it was your son that was killed, but because your son was threatening my wife, I had to defend my wife and myself from your son." And that's the exception to the rule. If family is being held hostage, or remember your family is being held hostage and they're outside your house, you're allowed to defend your family, self-defense. So that's the whole house rule law. And I feel like that I should explain this just because of the whole Trayvon Martin, George Zimmerman stand your ground law that no one seems to understand not one bit about. So hopefully, there's no case that comes up in Ohio about that. But until next time, people, this is Legendary Status Crimson. I'm out. Deuces.